Ah, boy. You know, I should probably start this off by saying, if you're new to watching me, then welcome to what is known as the State of My Being address. Basically, every 100 days, I've been doing this since day 400, by the way, I personally, use this particular, I use every 100 days to, sort of recap what's happened in the 100 days in the previous 100 days, as well as other various things like important events that happened or just overall how I'm doing. Because yes, I have explained in the past before that, I'm excited for, this One Piece chapter to come out, which I'll be getting into momentarily. Or, I'm feeling kind of depressed because of so-and-so. Basically, this is a format for me to be able to elaborate on that. Because it'd be easy for me to say how I'm feeling, but, if you don't take the time to talk about why, you may not learn anything from it. And that's why, I've been doing this. So, with that said, this is the first full 100 days where I've legitimately, full 100 days, because I actually started this on day 937, in which I actually did the low hiatus kindness, which I'm going to be getting into, which, I guess I'll do right now. Let's see, what was my low? My low is that the weather was a little bit on the scary side at one point. Like, I really didn't think I was going to see my folks yesterday, which wound up being my high. In fact, as a bonus today, not only are you going to get to see me react to chapter 1000 of One Piece, but this is also a Mom Food Chronicle. So yes, you're getting the State of My Being address, a Mom Food Chronicle, and a One Piece manga chapter reaction all in one day. I'm making this a big one. So, there you go. Right, with that said, my low is that the weather was a little bit on the bad side, and that my Dallas Cowboys are on the playoffs. This was a crazy 100 days. I mean, before I continue, I'll just do the high and that's my high was I did get to spend the evening with my folks last night and again had mom food. And my act of kindness was I did help out around the house, cleaned up the dishes, dishwasher, all that stuff. So yes, that's all for that. Now, first, happy Monday, everybody. There's a lot to talk about, I'm sorry. First things first, this 100 days consisted of, for the most part, the very beginning of fall or autumn. I mean, I know people say fall, but I like the word autumn. I just do. There was that, the vast majority of the NFL season, the entirety of the holiday season, and not to mention my birthday, which, if I didn't already say this, to those who wish me a happy birthday, thank you so very much. You actually helped make my birthday probably the best birthday I've had in a couple of years. I'm being serious. Like, the previous 2 years especially were really not that great for my birthday. But this one was the best. Easily the best birthday I've had since I turned 30. I can express that much. Actually, since I turned 29. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. So, a lot happened. My nephews turned 1. Again, he had the entirety of, the holiday season, which due to, world events, you couldn't really celebrate the way you wanted to. There's just so much that happened. And we're still in this sort of, funk of 20. Even I shouldn't have expected much to happen in 2021 right now. The year only just started a couple of days ago. I can say that so far, it's collectively, it's a better year than 2020 was. I can say that. But this time last year was about the same as it is right now, just without a global pandemic going on. So on that front, it's kind of hard to really judge, that sort of thing. But in terms of how I'm feeling overall, well, for starters, I'm ready for this pandemic to be over. That's obviously number one. Number two is, it actually kind of baffles me, this. But I went from, because a couple years ago, I told myself, the words I, love, and you were never going to be spoken to another than Father ever again. I went from that to saying that on day 1,000, and in the year of our Lord, December 22nd, 2020, I finally said it again to him. And granted, it still felt kind of difficult to say and kind of awkward, but I did it. Can't really take that away from you now, can you? So, to say that this was a very eventful and very surprising 100 days really is saying a lot. And, the sad part is we're still in the dead of winter. So, hey, good news. We get to these next 100 days, we're going to be in spring. I don't really mean to have it once a season, just sort of 100 days is a long time. The changing of the seasons is likely going to happen. I guarantee a couple times it'll be a set of 100 days, and we're going to have not one, but two changings of the season. Think about it. Right, so that's really all I have to say. I guess I could talk about, I'll do the NFL picks in a minute, but let's get into the Mom Food Chronicle, which I said last night we had mom food, and I really was going to talk about this mom food eventually anyway, so why not have it now? Believe it or not, it is split pea soup. Yes, we had split pea soup last night for dinner. And here's the thing. Traditionally, split pea soup is like the dried up split peas, water, you cook for a while. And if you have toppings like ham or cheese or onion or sour cream, you put the toppings, you put that on top. My mother just straight up says, forget it. I'm just going to put it on a crock pot and let it go. Or put it in a giant pot and let it, cook for a long period of time. Peas, ham, carrots, all that stuff. But I can tell you this. One, it's always been... Here's the thing. Naturally, it took a little while for me to really... Because, let's be honest, split pea soup is dark green. So it's not... visually, it doesn't look the most appealing. But, it smelled good. And, I'm a kid. As long as it smells good and tastes good, I'm not really going to care at the time. So I really like it. And I mentioned, we had ham the other day. The ham that we had the other day was leftovers, and she put that into the split pea soup. Which, parents, if you have leftover ham, use it for split pea soup. That's a great way to utilize leftover ham. So, there you go. Here's the thing. Whenever my mom makes soup, or she eats soup herself, she has it in a very specific way. And by specific, I mean, it has to be so incredibly hot it's darn near impossible to eat. Hot and temperature-wise, not spices. Split pea soup is not a spicy soup. But, it's hot to the temperature where, I had to, fill the spoon, a quarter of the way there just so I could eat it. That's how, hot it is. It's still really good, though. And, again, there's bits of ham. carrot, I like all that stuff. It's great. I love it. And if you have bread, you can dunk your bread in that. That's awesome. Or here's what I did. I had really big chunks of ham in my bowl of soup last night. So what I did was I had as much of the broth as I could, saved like the giant chunks of ham at the end, and I had 2 pieces of bread. And because the ham is soaked into, and the soup is soaked into the ham, and vice versa, and the ham is like pulled apart tender, almost like, well, technically it is pulled pork because it's the sort of same cut of the pig, but it's almost like pulled pork in a way. I made a sandwich with it, and it was amazing. Easily one of the best sandwiches, like makeshift sandwiches I've ever made. So, yeah, it's a great way to utilize ham. Split pea soup is an awesome soup. I recommend it. And that's really all I have to say about that. But now let's get into the real crux of this video, because I can think of no better way to kick off this next 100 days outside of doing the actual State of My Being address. If you couldn't already tell, I'm feeling really good overall. And I mean, yes, a lot of bad stuff has happened. I mean, again, my Dallas Cowboys aren't in the playoffs. But you know what? I turned 31. My nephews turned 1. You know, I was able to reconnect with my mother and father to the point where I can actually say I love them again. You know, that is a lot better than, well, first of all, I never would have predicted that last thing would happen. And when I think about it also, no matter what, One Piece was still going on too. So you know what? To say that this was a good 100 days has actually been an understatement. And honestly, the best part about it yesterday was not a lot of things happened other than seeing my parents. But that's fine, because in the interim, I could just take the time to process everything that happened. That's usually how, like, if it's like day something 199 or whatever, I usually take that day to process everything that happened. And for the most part, I think it works out. So, yeah, now you know a bit of the method to my madness. But again, I can think of no better way to kick off this next 100 days than with the following. Moment. Sorry. By the way, I know I really could be talking about the NFL games that happened yesterday, but honestly, considering that the playoffs are officially set in stone, it really doesn't matter what I have to say, because I'm already going to be doing because in a couple of days, I'm going to be doing a top 11, Super Bowl matchups that I want to see. So I'll be into that a little bit later. So, with that being said, let's kick off days 1100 to 1200, or actually 1100 to day 1199, with this. If I can actually. One Piece, chapter 1000, Straw Hat Luffy. You know what? It makes sense that the title of the chapter is the same as the name of the main character. I mean, Luffy was the first character we saw in the entirety of the series in chapter 1, way back in 1997. So it makes sense that, you'd have the title of the chapter be the main protagonist of the series. I like that. And speaking of Straw Luffy, he's the first person that we see in this chapter. Interesting. Okay, looks like Dogstorm's musketeers have cleared the way for Luffy to reach through the top. Hey, it's Sicilian. I will admit though that name is a little bit it sounds like Sicilian, but it's Sicilian, so there you go. Okay, Marco is taking and subduing King and Queen. And he throws Zoro up to the roof. First of all, Marco is a grown man, Second of all, I say, Marco the Phoenix is a grown man, I should say. And it's just so funny because Zoro is always like, usually stoic and really quiet. So a shock reaction from Zoro is actually quite hilarious. I love it. Okay. Yamato and Momonosuke are talking. Okay. How Odin chronicled his journal with being on Whitebeard and Roger's ship. Alright, Law and Kid, 2 more members of the worst generation, including Luffy and Zoro. That makes 5 we see in this chapter. Another Ace Yamato flashback. And Ace is talking about how he has undying faith in Luffy. And how Ace thinks Luffy really can become king of the pirates. And Yamato doesn't find that funny at all. In fact, she doesn't laugh at all. Because the king of the pirates said those exact same words. And thanks to Odin's journal, Yamato knows this. Wait, is that? No. Holy cow. Yamato gave Ace the Viver card? For those of you guys who don't know, a Viver card is like a special piece of paper in which if I tore a piece off and I would give it to someone, they would know how to find me and I'd be able to find them. And vice versa. It'd be really cool. It's actually a really cool way to keep in touch with people. Whether you want to see whether someone you love or someone that you want to keep tabs on. It's actually a really cool piece of paper. And here's the thing. Ace gave Luffy a Viver card way back in Alabasta. And here in the Wano arc, so many years later, we find out Ace got it from here. Awesome, right? Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, I love that Luffy is just running up the stairs while Yamato is talking in the background. And he breaks down the door. Because remember, Monkey D. Luffy is a grown man. I will say that. I will keep saying this. Okay. What page number is this? Pages 10 and 11. Okay, I'm just saying right now, pages 10 and 11. I'm looking at it right now. There's a double spread. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. This is awesome. It's literally the old generation staring down the new generation. Mind is blown. So, yeah, I'll be sure to put in the description, pay close attention to pages 10 and 11. I am doing you a favor here. Okay? And I love how Luffy is just casually walking. Wait, did Luffy just walk by him? Okay. Actually, let me look at that one page again. Huh. You know, it actually makes sense. You have when you see the new generation, you see Law in the background, Zoro staying to the right of Luffy as he is Luffy's right-hand man, and they're looking all stoic. Luffy's looking awesome. You have Killer to the right of Kid, because Killer is Kid's right-hand man. And you have Kid, who's the most expressive of all 5 of these people, in the forefront. Meanwhile, in the old generation, you have Big Mom in the forefront, and she's the most expressive on that side, next to Kaido, who is less expressive, but still looking incredibly crazy and stoic. Alright, I just want to put that out. Okay, Luffy walks to Kinemon. Alright. The vassals are defeated. They don't appear to be dead, just knocked out. You know what? I love this. Kinemon asks Luffy, will you put Wano on your back? And Luffy says, of course I will. It's my friend's country. See, folks, this is why Monkey D. Luffy is one of my all-time favorite fictional characters. Because he has an unwavering sense of kindness and inner strength. that he will have his friends back, no matter what. In fact, at the beginning of the chapter, the Musketeers help Luffy getting up the stairs or whatever. It really just goes to show that Luffy will do anything to help his friends. And because of Luffy's personality and kindness, his friends are willing to help him. That is why Luffy is awesome. Okay? With that being said, wait. Okay, looks like Trafalgar Law was able to use his power to move the vessels. Okay. I love it to sort of flat. Okay. Luffy's about to launch an attack, but they're also doing like a whole flashback thing where as Luffy is about to launch the attack, you see flashback like panels and quotes from chapters long past leading up to a moment like this. They did a similar thing. They've done this sort of thing before. Most notably, in Luffy versus Lucci at Enies Lobby. That was a great example of that. Oh, Luffy just punched Kaido in the face. And we have a new attack from Luffy. The Gomu Gomu no Red Rock, which is an upgrade to the Red Hawk. Fun fact, a rock is actually a mythical bird in Japanese mythology. So, there you go. Rock is spelled R-O-C, by the way. And I love that when Luffy ever used the Red Hawk, there was like Ace's will to it because of the fire. The Red Rock is an extension of that, I think. And it's awesome looking. I am Monkey D. Luffy. And I'm the man who will surpass you to be king of the pirates. End of chapter. One moment, please. Some people are probably going to read that chapter and be slightly underwhelmed by it. To me, this is about as perfect as a One Piece chapter for chapter 1000 of all things that you could ever hope for. Because the title of chapter 1000 is Straw Hat Luffy. Straw Hat Luffy is the first person you see in this chapter. He's also the first character we meet in the series. And Luffy's image is the last thing you see in the chapter. This is a celebration of One Piece that actually takes several levels for a person to understand. And this is awesome. And when you think about it, not a lot happened in this chapter other than Luffy punched a dude. Well, guess what? Luffy's been doing that since July 23rd, 1997. It was awesome then. And guess what? On a scale like this, it's awesome now. So, yeah. The State of My Being address. Mom Food Chronicle. One Piece chapter 1000. Bring on these next 100 days, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready to go. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms, turn on notifications on YouTube. I am very humble in this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back like Luffy would. Take care and make good choices. See ya.